quilting friends. So I have been trying for 2 hours to do a live on YouTube and it will not let me. I've tried downloading 3 different encoders. I have restarted my computer twice. I was able to go live for a little bit on accident and I figured I knew what I was doing and then I went to go do it again and it wouldn't let me. So I'm trying this recording and we're going to go ahead and try to record this. And then I will post the recording, which is not at all what I wanted because I wanted to be able to interact with you all. But it is what it is. And I will set this up as a premiere so that you can still interact and be live in the comments. So we're going to go ahead and try it that way, even though it's really not what we wanted. But 2 hours is really a lot of time trying to play with this. So if it works, it works. If not, or if it starts going live at some point, then I'll switch over to that. But if not, I've got this recording and we're gonna make do with what we have, which is kind of the motto for what we have going on right now. So as many of you know, the coronavirus is keeping us all indoors. We're trying to stop the spread by staying home. I am now celebrating 3 weeks inside these 4 walls with the kids and the husband who works in an essential business, so he does go off to work most days. But that's life for a lot of us right now, and it is what it is. So, I'm wearing my San Diego Modern Quilt Guild shirt today. I'm sporting because the idea was that this would be a guild meeting for our guild members, but also that I could stream it live to the world so anyone who is missing their guild meetings would be able to enjoy this as a guild meeting. So at least you'd have something, some connection with the world. So please, please, please go chat in the comments, connect with each other. This is going to be fun. So I just have a couple things that we're going to do. One is we are going to have some show and tell. I asked my guild friends if they would send me pictures, and many of them did send pictures of projects that they've been working on. So that's some fun quilty inspiration. Honestly, that's my favorite part of every guild meeting is seeing the show and tell. And then also, I thought I would do a quick demo for you. And as I was thinking this week what a good demo would be, I thought, well, a lot of people are making these fabric masks, and there's different kinds. There's this kind with the pleats and the ties. And then there is this kind, which is more fitted, and this is a child size. This is, so this pattern was from the New York Times. This pattern is, oh, and now I'm not going to remember it. It's a very popular pattern, and I'll make sure that I add the link to the description. I knew I was going to forget the name, and I should have written it down. But this one is great because it has casings where you can either put elastic or you can put a strap if you make a strap out of fabric. But making a strap out of fabric is the worst part of this whole process, and anyone who's made any of these fabric masks can attest to that. The making the straps is the worst part. Now I do want to add a disclaimer on these fabric masks. The fabric masks are not intended as personal protective equipment. They're not intended to protect nurses, doctors, medical workers, because germs can flow right through this fabric. It's not, you breathe in and you can still breathe in germs through this. However, there's some anecdotal evidence that says that if I wear this mask, if I have to go out in public and I wear a mask like this and I cough, I sneeze, I breathe, that the majority of those germs will get caught in this mask and I will spread the virus to less people if I am positive for the virus and don't know it because I don't have any symptoms yet, and so many people are asymptomatic. So the idea is that everyone wearing these masks protects everyone else, because if everyone wears these masks, then everyone who has the virus will be wearing a mask and hopefully keeping as many germs as possible to themselves. And that's the point of these masks, not to protect healthcare workers, because they're not hospital grade, they're not medical grade, and they're not intended to be, but that's okay. It's still something that can help slow that curve and bring that curve back down. So here's my hack for your straps. So what I've done is, this is with the fabric and it's 2 inches, and then I did a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way down the end. And then these are fabric turning tools. Now you might say, Caroline, I don't have those and I can't exactly run to the store and get them right now. That's okay. I'm going to show you another hack in a second. First, I'm going to show you how these work, and then I'm going to show you a hack that you can likely do with stuff that you have at home. So the turning tool is awesome, and if you can get your hands on one of these, I'd say go for it. And it's got a tube and then like a chopsticky, pokey skewer thing. So all you do is you take your tube, you insert it into your fabric strap, you take your skewery chopstick pokey thing, and you just start poking it through. And this is a whole width of fabric here. And just like that, I've turned the entire strip. So super, super simple to do. Then you can press it and you can run a stitch down it if you want or need, but you have your fabric strap turned, and it's so much easier than trying that bias binding method, right? Or bias tape method. Now, okay, you don't have turning tools, but you might have a pen that looks something like this. It doesn't have to look exactly like this. The easiest I find is the one that has a tip at both ends, but you can use any marker or pen, and you might have to cut off an end, but if you can find one that has the point on both ends, that's the best. Take off your lid, use a pair of pliers and pull this off of both ends, and then use a skewer or pokey to poke there's like a sponge inside with ink, and you push that right out, and what you get is a hollow tube, which is exactly what you need. And then you just use a skewer. You can do the exact same thing as we did before. You take your fabric strip, you take your empty pen, put it in, and look, it does the exact same thing. Now it's not going to be as long, so you might have to scrunch up a little more. If you've got longer pens, great. If your pen is shorter, then you when you get to like an end like this, it's hard for you to see that the pen ends right here. You might have to pull some off the end of your pen in order for you to keep going, because you run out. The pens aren't as long as the tubes. Or if you're using half strips anyway, you can just use a half bias binding strip, or I mean a half with a fabric strip, and that way it's easier and you don't have to worry about trying to pull it all off the end. Almost there. And there we go. So exact same thing with the inside of a pen tube. So that's our little sewing hack. Not exactly a quilting hack, but it's what we might need right now as we're making more fabric masks. So there we go. Quick and easy way to make the straps for this. Oh, and I remember the name of the pattern. It's the Craft Passion pattern. And these ones can be done with elastic, but you can also take your fabric strip and run it up, across, and down. And that way the person wearing it will have a strap across the back, down the sides, and then they can tie it right behind the neck. And so you can use a full with the fabric strip and use that for your craft fashion mess. Okay, so there is your tip for today. And now I want to head to my favorite part of the meeting, which is the sew and tell. I had some different guild members who have shared with me their projects, and so we're gonna try this out and see if this works, to be able to do a screen share and show you their fabulous images. So let's see. No, that's not it. There we go. Alrighty, let's make this bigger. All right. So these are pictures that were shared by guild members. All right. This is from Suzanne. She said, here we go. Carolina, I just finished this last night. I made the top at last year's retreat, floating triangles. Hope you and your family are doing well. Stay safe and well, Suzanne. So this is her floating triangles quilt. And how pretty is that? I'm loving the colors. Suzanne also sent me her butterflies, so you can see her fabulous binding and her beautiful hand stitching here. This is her butterfly quilt. She says, Caroline, thanks for having the meeting on YouTube. It's a great idea. I'm looking forward to attending. Suzanne, I thought it was a good idea, but these tech issues are killing me. She says, I finished this quilt last week. Priscilla gifted me a layer cake she had won at the first QuiltCon in Pasadena. It just spoke to me that it had to be a butterfly. The binding was just purchased in Austin at QuiltCon and was the perfect finish. Stay safe and well, Suzanne. And isn't that gorgeous, her butterfly? This is a basket. This is by Elizabeth De Silva. She said, Hi, Caroline. Thank you so much for offering to have our meeting on your YouTube channel. Attached are a few photos of an Easter basket I made for my daughter, Saren. She's only 7 months, so I wanted something soft and chewable since everything goes in her mouth these days. And this is Elizabeth De Silva, and you can find her on Instagram as Eliz Gralton. That's ELIZGRALTON. So let's all go follow Liz on Instagram. Oh, there's another one of Suzanne's butterfly pictures that's snuck in there. And this is from Megan Dooley. Megan says, Hi, Caroline. I hope you and yours have been well. Here's my post. You can definitely summarize anything you want and pictures from Instagram for the virtual meeting. Finished UFO swap quilt top. So this was from our guild's UFO swap. Different people brought in projects that they had unfinished that were just languishing, that really they knew they were never going to get finished. They put them on a table and everyone swapped and picked a new project to finish instead. And Megan has a couple of these that she has just been rocking. So this is one. She says this awesome hexie quilt was originally started by at 70s Jen. So that's Jen on Instagram at 70s Jen, and needed a finish. I loved being able to learn Y seams and finish a quilt that I didn't have to pick the fabric for. That part still kind of stresses me out. I forgot to get a pic of the cream-colored cuddle backing that I also picked up from the San Diego Modern Quilt Guild swap. This quilt is quite heavy, but so soft and warm. It's absolutely perfect for couch cuddling. And I agree, Megan, this is perfect. And look at those amazing Y seams that she did. She's one of our newer quilters, and she has been doing just fabulous. Love, love, love. This is from Karen Johnston, and Karen Johnston is our member that has been doing the Project Quilting Challenge on Instagram. Every week there's a different prompt, and you make something with that prompt, and you can find that on hashtag Project Quilting. And Karen says, this is what I had for show and tell. It's the final challenge for Project Quilting Challenge 11.6. Prompt is vivid and vivacious. This is COVID. Thanks for organizing this. Karen, I think this is perfect. It's very appropriate for these times. And it is the COVID virus, which we are all dealing with. Although, fortunately, most of us aren't catching it at this point, which is good. And then we have a last from Kenza, and this is just amazing. I'm so excited to share this, and I think it's a great way to wrap up the end of this digital meeting. It says, Hi, Caroline. Here is my share for tomorrow. The last quilt I was commissioned for late in February, right before the pandemic we're all experiencing at the moment, was a t-shirt quilt wall hanging for Rare Disease Day. Ironic, isn't it? Ionis Pharmaceuticals requested a quilt reflecting their logo, Hope, to be made out of t-shirts of events they've put together in the past. The quilt was challenging with a tight deadline, but so much fun. Here are a few pictures of the process, the finished quilt, which was beautifully long-armed by Chris Bromer at Sweet Pea Threads, and some of the press around the unveiling of the quilt. The Instagram handle for Kenza is I'm going to pronounce this wrong, so I'm just going to spell it, MAISON.COLORI. And Chris Bromer, who long arm this, and oh, let me show you the pictures of the quilt. So those are the t-shirts. This is her design. And there's the quilt with the design next to it so you can see. Chris, who quilted this, her Instagram handle is Sweet Pea Threads by Chris. And this gives you a picture of the scale. So thank you, Kenza, for sharing that. Thank you all for joining in on this live but not live version of our Modern Quilt Guild meeting. I wish I could see you all in person. I wish I could be up at Quilt in the Day with you all hanging out, but we're all doing what we can in these incredible, unusual times. Just let's see. There we are. So yeah, we're doing what we can. We're sharing how we can. We're making do with what we can, and it's not always working the way we want it to. It's definitely not. If I had my choice, I'd be seeing you all in person right now. But hopefully soon, we all stay inside. We'll let our healthcare workers do what they were trained for in the most incredible and selfless ways. And hopefully we can be hanging out with each other soon. On the good news side for me, so our guild was doing a swap, and this was the box that I'd gotten for our round robin swap. I'm in group 5, and I haven't had a chance to work on this at all. So I'm going to take my silver lining of I have at least another month to work on this, and hopefully I will see y'all soon, and we'll be able to swap our round robin blocks at our next guild meeting. For those of you who aren't part of the Modern Quilt Guild, I'm a member of the San Diego Modern Quilt Guild, and so this is a special edition of our guild meeting. Maybe we'll be doing it again this way next month. Maybe we'll be trying something different, but hopefully we'll be able to see each other in person real soon. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you leave comments down below in the links. If you enjoyed this video or think you might enjoy some of my other videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and you'll get all kinds of quilty and crafty awesomeness. Like this video. Let me know that you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see many of you in person very, very soon. Bye, friends.